Imagine meeting the person you could have become, not in another life, not in some distant fantasy, but the version of you that was always possible, the version that took the risk, the version that didn't quit, the version that kept going even when fear whispered, "Stay where it's safe." Now imagine standing face to face with them. Would they look different? Would they carry themselves differently? Would there be a quiet confidence in their eyes, the kind that only comes from choosing courage over comfort? What stories would they tell? What dreams would they have pursued? What parts of themselves would they have discovered? And perhaps the most difficult question of all, what would you say to them? How would you explain the life you chose? Would you tell them you were too busy, too afraid, that you were waiting for the perfect time? The truth is, most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they never begin. They spend years preparing to live. Instead of actually living, they wait until they have more confidence, more certainty, more approval. But life rarely hands us guarantees. And while we're waiting, time keeps moving. One day becomes 1 year becomes 10, and suddenly we're left wondering where the time went. As children, we dreamed without limits. We believed we could become explorers, artists, inventors, people who changed the world. Perhaps that's why Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist has resonated with millions of readers around the world. Beneath its story of a young shepherd searching for treasure lies a timeless truth. The greatest loss isn't failing to pursue your dreams, it's abandoning them before they ever have the chance to unfold. But somewhere along the way, we learned to shrink, to be practical, to lower our expectations, to trade possibility for predictability. Little by little, we abandoned the parts of ourselves that once felt most alive, not because they disappeared, but because fear convinced us they weren't realistic. Yet, here's the strange thing about potential. It never truly leaves. It waits, quietly, patiently, showing up in moments of restlessness, in that feeling that something is missing, in the dreams that return long after we've tried to forget them. Because deep down, a part of you remembers. It remembers who you wanted to become before the world told you who you should be. Imagine meeting that version of yourself, the one who wrote the book, started the business, took the journey, applied for the opportunity, had the difficult conversation, chose growth over comfort. They weren't fearless. They doubted themselves. They stumbled. They failed. More than once. But they kept moving, not because they were extraordinary, but because they understood something most people never do. You don't become courageous before taking action. You become courageous by taking action. The life you admire isn't built in a single dramatic moment. It's built through countless small decisions. The decision to try, to begin, to continue, even when progress feels invisible. One day, your future will become your present, and eventually, your present will become your past. When that day arrives, success may not be measured by how much money you earned or how many people admired you. It may come down to something far simpler. Did you honor the life that was given to you? Did you explore the gifts you carried within you? Did you become the person you were capable of becoming, or did fear make those decisions for you? Maybe that's the enduring message hidden within The Alchemist, that the life we're searching for isn't found by avoiding uncertainty. It's discovered by having the courage to follow what calls us, even when the path ahead isn't clear. The person you could become still exists. They haven't disappeared. They're waiting on the other side of one decision, One conversation, one application, one act of courage. You don't have to transform your entire life overnight. You only have to take the next step. Start before you feel ready. Start while you're uncertain. Start while your hands are shaking. Because the distance between who you are and who you could become is often smaller than you think. And years from now, when you finally meet that future version of yourself, let it be as someone familiar, someone whose choices you've already begun to make, someone who reminds you that fear was never the end of the story, only the beginning of it. This is the Midnight Sage. And remember, the person you could become is created by the choices you make today.